Hello, I'm David Langell. I am a student teacher at Steel Canyon High School for PE. I am making this video for ITL 550A, Student Teaching A, and I'm responding to the prompt, how do you know that students in your class have accomplished the learning goals? So first things first, um, my lesson was during a minimum day, so it was a shorter class than I'm used to. And the lesson had to do with throw-ins for soccer. So learning goal one was that by the end of the lesson, students would be able to demonstrate the learned technique of a throw-in. And the ELD learning goal one was that by the end of the lesson, students will understand the academic vocabulary associated with a throw-in. Um, those terms being throw-in, sideline, overhand throw, and trap. Um, so first things first, um, how do I know that students in my class have accomplished the learning goal? Number one for me is observation. Um, Through guided practice, through the games that we play, I try to play a game during every lesson. And at the end portion of this lesson, we play two games, two quick, about 7-minute games. And the biggest thing for me is observation. If students know the context of soccer, know the rules, how to implement a throw in at the appropriate time, and can demonstrate the skill with correct with the learned technique that I teach them, that shows me that they're understanding and can fully grasp the material. Number two is student questioning. I question my students throughout the lesson. I have specific portions after the direct instruction and the student modeling to question students and challenge their understanding, challenge them to go into higher order thinking when it comes to a throw in. For example, what's wrong with this example of throw in, and then demonstrate an incorrect technique. So I take student volunteers. I may call on students if I'm not getting enough volunteers or if I haven't talked to a student in a while. Um, that leads me to my next point is discussions. We have discussions at the end of class, reflecting on um, the students' self performance and their peer performance based on it's a discussion within teams. So I observe that I'll ask some students to share some comments that they have. We always try to keep it positive. I'll only have students share things that they think they need to work on according to themselves, not calling out a peer on something that they think they need to work on. And then I briefly mentioned this, but modeling of a throw-in, I incorporate this after the direct instruction, and usually I start with somebody who is already proficient in the skill. So somebody who may play soccer in as an extracurricular activity, or they have in the past. And then I'll ask other students to model the learned technique. And granted, this is early. I don't expect them to be perfect, especially after the student who I know is proficient in the skill. But it's a good way for me to see who volunteers, who thinks that they're good enough to demonstrate their skill in front of the class. Um, I observed during guided practice in the games. I believe I already went over that. But guided practice is really when I feel I do my best teaching. We get in small groups and practice the skill. So in this case, the throw-in with groups of 3 to 5 people, 3 to 5 students, and it shows me we just practice throw-ins over and over and trapping of the ball. Although that's not the point in this lesson plan, the trapping aspect, but it allows me to go and give individualized, mastery-oriented instruction to each student as necessary. I already touched on the discussion aspect at the end of class, during class closure, where I'll take volunteers to share what they think during the discussion with the team and their self and peer evaluation. So, and then the ELD Learning Goal 1 On, by the end of the lesson plan, students will understand the academic vocabulary with a associated with a throw-in. This is a little more, I would say, nuanced or detailed because you have to listen to the conversations being had. So I can go around while I'm monitoring for progress for learning goal 1 and understand or listen in on conversations students are having with their teams, seeing if they're utilizing that vocabulary. Also, personal discussions between me and the students, one-on-one or within a small group, help me to see how the students are grasping that vocabulary. So that's how I monitor for progress and how I know that students have accomplished the learning goals of the lesson. Thank you.